Welcome back.
To three-way call.
With Britt Fallon Star.
Hey. In today's episode, we're talking about how emotional unavailability has shown up in our relationships, and not just in the other person or partner, but in ourselves as well. Because let's just admit and be honest, we've all either been with someone or tried chasing someone who's emotionally unavailable, or we've been her. So I wanted to kind of dive in and talk about what that looks like and some mindset shifts around it.
Absolutely. I think this is an interesting one because really early on after my separation, I feel like I obviously was the emotionally unavailable one. I was like beginning of healing, and you don't realize it until you're like, oh shoot, like I'm being the man, I'm being what the man always does. But yeah, some ways to like recognize it now that one I've done it to someone and it's happened to me is like, you really avoid those like deeper conversations. When it
Mhm.
gets a little tough, you just want to book it. You're like, I'm out, like, and then anytime there's like conflict, it's more of a punch in the face rather than like room to grow in your mind. You know what I
Mm.
mean? Like it's like, oh, I'm doing something wrong. No, like you just want me to be different, blah, 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 blah. Like it's you get more defensive than anything rather than taking it as an opportunity to grow or like be better. Those are like really big signs or markers of like an emotionally unavailable person. Would you say so, Fallon?
Yeah, I agree. I think it's definitely just being like emotionally detached. And I feel like you're dismissive. Like if the other person wants to express their feelings, which I have definitely experienced with somebody else, like anytime I want to open up and express my feelings, like they're just dismissed because I feel like that other person just can't handle
Mhm.
that, emotional vulnerability that I'm trying to show and express. And then also I feel like a little bit of making you feel like you're trying to like earn their love. Like I've
Mm.
been feeling that a lot too, trying to earn their love or earn their attention. And then they just like ultimately avoid you altogether because out of fear of like commitment, fear of getting close, fear of a relationship. It just shows a lot of areas that they still need to heal from in order to be able to provide those things to somebody else.
Yeah, that fear of commitment really comes up. And that's because I think deep down they do want that, like they do want commitment, but they just don't know how. When they're in a vulnerable place, they get defensive, and then that commitment seems so scary. And so it really, I think the biggest like learning thing for me when I've been in those kinds of places is it's not really about me and what I'm doing, although there are things you can do to like make both, if you're both working at it, you guys can both become more secure in that. But, it's not about me. It's about how they've grown up or how they've viewed relationships and how they've been able to express their own emotions. And so it's really like the learning experience for me is that it's not me that is the issue, is that they don't know how to be this way. They don't know how to be secure in that.
1,000%. I feel like that's something I struggled with. Number one, I feel like I internalized that all. I took it very personally. It honestly made me very depressed. And
Mhm.
it took me a very long time to understand exactly what you just said, that it's not me, it is them, and it is, you know, things that they need to heal through, and it really has nothing to do with me. And like you said, I do also believe that they want commitment and want, to be loved and give love and all of those things. Just like you said, they just don't know how.
Yeah.
Mm. Yeah, and I think in terms of Britt, you had started telling us, you became that, which is usually the guy. And even I remember when I was in the chat just chatting with you guys a couple days ago about like, well, what are we talking about this week? And you both were like, I can talk about my experiences. I have been trying to think of a time when I've been the emotionally unavailable guy. I really can't think of one. Usually it's me on the other end of that. And I feel like looking back now, like obviously I always happen to be just meeting someone I think at the absolute wrong time.
Mhm.
And one of the guys I thought I was falling in love with before even I even met Paul, he was fresh out of a divorce. And so, very like, oh, this is exciting. This is fun. I think for him, like this is new. And back then, should I say, would just end up getting close to people without really assessing, like, where are you? Do you have the space to hold my love? Because I fall in love so easily. I'm like, it's been 2 weeks. I love you. We're going to be together forever, right? And so, yeah, I was like, I don't think it's ever been, I mean, not that I can think of right off the bat, but I can definitely think of a few people where it's like, dang, if only I knew in advance. But a couple of clear signs looking back now, we're very much just like wanting to talk about future, right? There is no future there, it's just now. I think some people are really afraid of going there. Would you say that's one of the signs too?
I think they would avoid future talk,
Mm-hmm.
avoid it altogether. That's a scary thing for them. Whenever there's like a pressure on, now you have to show up, now you have to show your feelings, now they're real, this is what you wanted, you wanted commitment, in your mind, and then it shows up in your face. You don't know what to do, and then it's more like I'm just gonna withdraw, I'm gonna recluse from this situation
Yes. Yes,
rather
yes,
than
yes.
face it and talk it out, then work it out and then just move on. And like a lot of people unfortunately don't work through that. And then they just keep going like, well, I think I want it. And then they get into it and it's fine and good and dandy. And then the pressure comes back in and they're like, well, I was actually not available for this. It's also, situationships are a really big thing right now.
They
That
are.
that's a thing. Like that's I feel like a big cop out for those who like want that, but then no, like this is like the gray area or like the loophole,
Mm-hmm.
right? Into like I don't actually have to be available
Mm-hmm.
because we could just be in like a situationship. Like for me, when I feel like I was the avoid or the unavailable one, I feel like I really understood the term like it's not you, it's me because I knew it was me. Like
Mm.
I was like very aware like this is me. I am not healed. Like I don't know what I want. Like it was just I was withdrawing because I didn't want to be vulnerable. Like I knew that I was being unavailable. And so the term is like it's not you, it's me. I meant it. It was not you. It was literally me.
So, question for you, girl, because now I'm just putting myself in the other person's shoes. Knowing it was you and not them, did you continue to get close to them, or were you open and honest and just letting them know? Because I've been with partners that have been both. They're like very blunt and honest, like, look, I'm not ready for anything, so let's try not to make this a thing. I'm like, oh, okay, but of course I'm still gonna fall in love with you because that's just what I do. And then
Yeah.
also people who've been like, thinking or just maybe not honest with themselves about how ready they were. For instance, I'll call him Denver guy, pre Paul, and just tell me like, which one do you think you were?
So I feel like two things with that really. Like I was upfront. I was very
I
upfront
knew
throughout
you
the
were
whole
going to say
process.
that. Yes.
Yeah. Just because like that's how I am anyway. Like I'm not really like a brush it under the rug or like hide it. I'd rather be transparent because that's what I want in return. I want transparency and honesty. But didn't like end it, so to speak, right? And until I realized I was like, I really can't. Like, it's my responsibility at this point, like to do it. And so that's where the other part of it comes in is learning from that and everything, healing and all that stuff. And this whole time was like, I think it's a pet peeve when someone's like, well, I told them, right? But then
Hmm.
you still stayed and you let them have feelings and you let them fall for you. Like, well, they're a grown up. They should have left when I said that, blah, blah, blah. Like it's still your responsibility too. If you know it's not going to go anywhere, you should let them go because it's just kind of messed up.
Yeah.
So that was also like that's the second part of it. It was like of my learning experience during that time. And I don't, now I'm just not gonna if I feel like I'm unavailable, I'm unavailable. Like I don't want to
Don't
deal with that,
even try me.
because like again, like I'm also very an emotional person. I'm very empathetic. So once I realized, I was like, no, I can see from the outside in what I'm doing here, and I know that that doesn't feel very good. I'm not going to do that.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? So just that awareness again that comes creeping in.
Yeah, and I
But
think speaking of awareness, like with Denver guy, he also tried to be communicative about it. I always say that word weird, but it wasn't until so many months in, I feel like, then he said, and at that time I was in my mid to late 20s. He was like, "Oh, I don't want to get married again. Oh, I don't want any kids. Why are you just now telling me this?" And it's been almost like, I don't know. I feel like it was like a year in my head, maybe.
Mhm.
But I'm like, why wasn't this on date two, date three, Because he was also 10 years older than me. It's like, of course I'm gonna, well, maybe not everyone, but I think I want to get married at some point, maybe have a kid. I don't know, but the option is something.
yeah,
But that was the official end, like the end of the end. And like Fallon was saying, those kinds of things back then used to really put me in a depressive state. Like that really broke my heart so much to the point where I actually like left a whole state, moved back home. It was brutal.
Did he ever say that he wanted those things before, or you guys just never talked about it, period?
No, we never talked about it, period. And so when I listen to like the Matthew Husseys and the relationship experts now about dating, because I'm so nosy, like what's going on with these kids these days? And they're saying like, okay, make sure, like we were talking about in our last episode, what are your boundaries, but also expectations, and making sure maybe not on date one saying like, I want to get married, do you want kids, da da da, but within the first, couple of months would be nice, I
Mm-hmm.
think.
Yeah. I've definitely been emotionally unavailable as well, but definitely different scenarios um than the norm, I would say. What else is new? I feel like I always say that. But I was emotionally unavailable towards the end of my marriage. I just completely shut down, didn't express how I was feeling, avoided telling how I was feeling at all costs just to keep the peace. I didn't want to fight. I just completely shut down. But that was me just like the relationship was over, you know?
just
And then
detaching, really.
also, yeah, and then also me being emotionally unavailable, I would say, like Britt said, I am also aware that I am emotionally unavailable. I think I'm starting to come out of that as we speak, but I was for a very long time emotionally available
Mm.
to the outside world just because I was so focused on one person. So it wasn't like I just was emotionally available, period. I just was so consumed with one person that I would never give anyone else the time of day, like completely shut down, didn't want to be vulnerable, didn't want to have conversations, didn't want to do anything
Hmm.
just because, I was focused on somebody else. It's a little bit different, but
Yeah, it is because it's like I'm not completely shut off. It's just my focus is here. I totally get that.
yeah, definitely.
You know what they say? So, what I was reading was that emotionally unavailable people attract emotionally unavailable people.
Wait.
Oh, that's
No.
interesting.
Yeah, something in you is still not quite that like there, and that's why it's happening. Gosh, I wish I remember who it was. It was some psychologist talking about that's talks about this stuff all the time, and I was like, that tracks.
I
Like,
feel like that definitely makes sense.
right, because if you think too, like about secure like relationships too, and if you're like in an anxious space, and then the person that you always are attracting is like emotionally unavailable or an avoidant kind of thing,
Yeah.
like there's still something in you that's not, right? So it's just, I think, I feel like it's just a different form of it, but I feel like looking back, it is likely that, there were times where when I've attracted like emotionally unavailable people, I can look and say, like, I definitely was not emotionally available either, you
Hmm.
know? But in that, you know, duo or whatever, I thought I was because I was the one that was like, like everything's fine, like nurturing that. But
Mm-hmm.
really, it was almost like hanging on to their emotional unavailability,
Hmm.
Mm-hmm.
giving me the false thought that I was emotionally available because I had those feelings. But it was just but if you take it away and it was like secure, like do you really like this person, or is that really there? Is the connection really there, kind of thing? Like, are you really healed if didn't exist,
Hmm.
Mm-hmm.
right? If they were available, would you still feel this way? Or is it because they're not?
Yes. Now that is something I wrestled with in my 20s. Plenty. Like, I totally get that. Yeah,
Yeah.
that push-pull dynamic that I was so obsessed with back then, like really unhealthy. But that was just what kind of, I mean, I was addicted to it, I guess, that high and low, like central nervous system was just like that's kind of what I was, I guess, seeking, subconsciously too. And I think Paul was one of the first, partners I ever had where it was just that's out the window. Like we're not playing games here. Here's what I want and here's what I have to offer. Are you in?
Yeah. Oh, I love that.
Yeah.
That's so interesting because when I think back to like, my situationship, like I would always say like I feel like I'm emotionally available and he's not because it's like I'm the one that's open to giving and receiving the love, you know what I mean? I'm processing my emotions, I'm processing his, like I'm being present, mentally, emotionally, physically. I'm not afraid of intimacy or connection with him. But if you take him out of the picture, I'm not, like I just said, I'm not like that with anyone else. I'm actually extremely closed off. So, just another reason why it just makes my situation so confusing.
Yeah.
I think that situation probably dives into a little bit more of like comfortability, maybe,
Yeah,
you
could
know?
be for sure. Yeah. And that obviously, like, I have an anxious attachment style and he's avoidant, and we go together, like,
Hmm.
you know,
That's
peanut butter jelly.
right.
So, yeah, I'm sure that has a big part in it as well.
Yeah.
So, ladies, what are some, red flags versus green flags you look for now, knowing kind of like where you were before in the past, maybe then being emotionally unavailable to maybe not so much anymore? What are some things that you're like, yes, keeping that in?
I think for me, a big one, like you guys mentioned before, is future talk. Someone that's not afraid to talk about the future. I think where I'm at in my life now, I want to be married, I want to have kids, I want a family. So I'm not out here wasting time if I'm going to be dating you. If I'm going to be dating you, I'm going to get straight to the point. Like a lot of people are like, oh, should I not ask like those bold questions right off the bat? Like, is it
Yeah,
just too much? Am I just like too intense? And for me personally, my opinion, I'm like, no, absolutely not. Like, if they can't handle that, then that's just not your person. Like,
right.
I am out here, meaning business. And I feel like somebody who understands and is on the same level would get that. And as long as we get those like hard questions out of the way, like not even hard, you know what I mean? But maybe quote unquote what people think are too intense, like talk about family, like, do you want to have kids? Okay, how many kids do you want to have? How do you want to raise them? Are you religious?
I was about to
Like,
say, what
yeah,
religion
you
are
know
you,
what I
if
mean?
any?
Like,
Yeah.
do you believe in God? Like, big things that are important to me that may seem, too intense for other people. I feel like that's a big thing. And then also, making sure that they are comfortable being vulnerable, that they express their emotions to me. And the same thing, giving and receiving love, having that equal balance. Not one person giving more than the other one and one person taking more, and who isn't afraid of intimacy and connection,
Mhm.
those types of things.
I feel like Val, you would be perfect for that show. Have you guys seen the one on Netflix and it was on YouTube forever? Pop the Red Balloon, where they're like,
No, but I
they
think
get
one
to
of you guys was
business.
telling me this. Weren't we talking
Or
about
was
that recently?
Yes, it's so good because they
Now I
pretty much Hey, you want me? Yes, no, pop it.
Really? Oh my gosh, sign me up. Yeah, I need to watch it.
And
Yeah, because a
definitely
lot
so
of them
annoying.
are honest. They're very much like, look, I'm looking for my partner. This
Mm.
is why I'm here. I'm
Mm.
also promoting my business. So
Right?
multitask. Can they make this for married people so I can promote her? Just
Just be the host.
Yeah, yeah, there
yeah.
you go. You could be the host.
I agree. Like, I'm a to the point kind of person. Like, that I do agree sometimes that the faster it goes, the quicker it ends, kind of thing, too,
Mm,
sometimes. But within reason, like, if you can't have an adult conversation about your morals and you're like, why are we wasting our time? I don't need to go on 5 dates with you and then learn that you don't want this, that, or the other, like
yes.
just. And again, yeah, they're not to like they're grown up questions, and if that weirds them out, then immediately they're probably not available.
Right.
Like it just checks them right off of the box there. But I I would say that if it came to like future talk, it's not really future talk for me because I've had emotionally unavailable men talk about the future,
Hmm.
but in a very this is what I want, like I don't know how to even explain it in words.
I think that makes sense in terms of what they want, but not necessarily with you together.
Yeah, not if they're not asking what you want in
Hmm.
your future. If it's all about them, then I feel like they're just all talk.
Mm.
Hmm.
But if it's a conversation about the future, like, oh, what do want with your future? But if it's just them talking, like I'm anti-talk with no action. I'm like quiet if you can't back it up, okay? Like, so it's fine to hear the words, but if they don't also ask you, if they're not showing it with the way that they move through life,
Hmm.
it's a pass.
Hard
You know what? That's
pass.
like good old Amaya Papaya from Love Island, like what she said, and I love it. And she was like, and I quote, I am no longer getting a sugar rush from the word candy you're feeding me. If your actions cannot back up your words, then deuces. Like, love
Whoa, a
that.
direct quote. I love it.
Yeah.
Val's like, this one stuck with me. I
Yes,
like
I love that.
Back to what Britt just said. It's so true.
it.
They get so good at talking. They get so good at talking.
Mm.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
They get good at saying things they think we want to hear.
mhm,
So
mhm.
then again, it's the whole, I don't even know if it's like they're pretending to be emotionally available or if they think they are. But at the end of the day, like you guys are, I think that's the mature way that you guys are, going to be dating now because we don't have a lot of, we're not trying to waste time around here.
Right.
Mm-mm.
We're not in our 20s anymore, okay?
Yeah, and I love how like Fallon and I are both like not actively in any way, shape, or form.
That's
Like we
right.
don't want to waste any time, but we are so good. Like we're so
Yes, we are
good.
good. We are good. But when we're ready, we are not
When
wasting.
we're ready, we're gonna be even better.
So funny. Britt, do you have some rapid fire questions for us?
Oh yeah, let's
Hey,
just get these out there. Are you girls
I
ready?
think so. I
Let's
think so.
Oh,
Be quick
begin
on my
off the
feet.
top of your head. What comes first? This one's just a sweet one. What's a wellness habit you secretly hate, but do anyway?
Making my bed. Because I don't understand. Why do I have to make my bed? What does that do for me? And I
Does it not
read,
make you feel good in the morning?
no. I'm like, I read somewhere every millionaire makes their bed. So I got into the habit of, okay, millionaire style, we're making our bed. And then I stopped. I was like, but you know what? I'm back into it because my client and I we're like this right now, holding each other accountable. It's gonna,
Very good.
yeah.
Yeah,
for me, it's drinking green juice. I hate green juice, but I'll do it anyways because I know how good it is for me.
Really?
The only green juice I enjoy drinking is celery juice, but like get me like a kale, spinach, whatever, and that is effing nasty. But I will do it because I know how good it is.
It's so
I
good.
do
And then you throw a protein powder in there, and I'm like,
not enjoy the taste of that at all.
you can also have it with a shot of vodka. It's still good.
Okay, what's your inner villain era name and what is she known for?
Inner villain.
Like you're in your villain era and you're going by your alter ego. What is that and what is she known for?
Feisty foul.
Ah, I love it.
I like
I
it.
I
Yeah.
would say I don't know, loudmouth star, only because I hate that sometimes I'm so quiet. I'm like, girl, you have lots of things to say. Why are you not talking?
Loud mouth. That's
Okay,
hilarious.
well, we know what she's going to be known for, speaking her mind.
Yes.
And Fallon's going to be known for being feisty.
Yes. And also speaking my mind, just being
Okay.
feisty, just not giving a F, not thinking
Yes.
about what anyone else thinks. I'm just doing my own thing, saying whatever I want, doing whatever I want,
Yeah,
Love it.
you're already carrying that,
and
girl.
owning it.
Uh-huh.
The villain is inside us.
Yeah.
Okay. You get $10,000 to spend only on your self-care. What are you buying first?
Well, I have a list. I want LASIK. I want Invisalign. And there was something else I wanted. Oh, laser. I've
Hmm.
been wanting to get out of bikini waxing for laser for a while. So I got a list ready to go.
Love that.
Yeah. I was trying to think of something that came first to my mind, but I can't. But the fact that you said laser, I have been going back and forth, especially with you, Britt. How's that going, by the way? Are you enjoying it?
I've literally had 2 sessions and I'm like, this is
And you
fantastic.
you swear by it already, huh?
Yeah.
Okay.
Specifically this one because the reason I went to this one was because they said like it's permanent and the other ones are like you have to constantly go.
Yes.
And I can already tell that this is going to be permanent because it's like
It
after 2 sessions, it's already this good. Like
Well, I
after
remember,
nine, it's going to be great.
yeah, girl, and you said it didn't hurt you very much. And so when I was talking to Paul about it, I'm like, yeah, she said it didn't hurt. And I go, but she did have a kid. So I don't know. Her pain tolerance is
No,
probably
it's
way
That
higher than
spicy.
was
mine.
my question. How
It's
bad does it hurt?
spicy.
What's your pain tolerance? Would you say you have a high pain tolerance or low? Like birth aside.
Oh, okay. I'll say it's like snapping a rubber band
Okay,
on your
that's what I
wrist.
thought you said. But I feel like, but over and over and over, and is in it for like 20, 25 minutes straight or no?
She does it super fast, but I'd say it's only in specific areas depending. Like, so actually, like closer to like the upper area was the worst,
Okay.
Okay.
where it's like, I don't even know what that's called, but and then other areas it was just like nothing.
Hmm.
So yeah, it just depends. But yeah, I would say it's just a sting for a second, and then they put like a little cooling thing on it, and then you're good to go. I think you guys will be just fine.
Okay. I'm gonna
Yeah,
eventually get that done for sure.
same. Hmm.
Okay. What's the most Delulu belief you have that's actually kind of working? Because you know how I love Delulu.
For me, it would be that I'm actually running a business as an entrepreneur. When I first started, I had so much, what do you call it? Where you're like, you think you can't do it. Ugh, you know what I mean? There's like
Not
a phrase.
imposter
Imposter,
syndrome.
Imposter syndrome.
yeah.
Okay.
I had a lot of imposter syndrome probably for the first 2 or 3 years, and I'm in year 5 now. So lately, I'm just like, hey, this is awesome. Like, this was a Delulu dream of mine that's coming true. Okay. Yeah, it's pretty fun.
I
I
love
love it.
that. That's a good one. Yeah, it is working for you, girl.
Slowly but surely, it's coming together.
That is a good one. I don't know. You have to come back to me on that. I can't think off the top of my head for that one.
Okay.
Next.
What's a red flag that's secretly a green flag to you?
Dang
And do you even know it's a red flag?
it. A red flag secretly.
You know, I don't have one right off the top of my head, but I will say what I've come to learn lately is that if there are red flags to me, I don't like write those off. I am learning to, if I see red flags, communicate what that red flag is, see what their response is, see if that's something like we could get past, see if that's something that they actually put the effort in changing and then go from there. And then if it's, it just keeps happening or whatever, then it's like, okay. But
Yes.
I wouldn't for me, I wouldn't like tell somebody just because there's depending on the red flag. Let's just disclaimer.
Hmm.
If you get cheated on or whatever, like I don't know, or you
Hmm.
know what I mean, like that's obviously going to be a little bit heavier. But like some people are like, "Oh, like oh, I don't even know. What's something so dumb that people are like, oh no, like, oh, he wears, I mean, isn't cute, but it's the first thing that came to my mind. He wears socks with his sandals. You know what I mean? Like shit like that. Like I would never go out with him. Like that's something I'd be like, look, like
We can
that's
work
not
with this.
cute. Yeah, that's not cute. Maybe, you could try to lose the socks or maybe put on some sneakers instead. You know what I mean? It's stuff like that where it's like I would work through it with the person and not just be like, ew.
Yeah,
Wow.
no, actually,
Okay.
I totally get it because I was listening to Trevor Noah's podcast yesterday and he was saying, look, we're all going to have red flags. It's just a matter of like, what are you willing to work with? And yeah.
Exactly.
But I will say for me, now that I'm thinking about it, I think, but secretly, I think as a green, pet names within the first couple weeks of knowing each other, I'm like, ooh, who else are you calling this? But then I'm like, but it's so cute. At the same time, I feel so, you love me.
Love a pet name.
Hmm.
Okay, that's a good one. Okay, but what Fallon was saying like leads into this next one, so this will be fun. What's a nice guy trait that gives you the ick instantly? Because you said socks with sandals. I thought, oh, this is a good
Hmm.
A
segue.
nice guy. Wait, so nice guys wear socks with sandals?
Oh,
I don't know.
No.
I just was thinking, like, is that a red flag or is that an ick?
true. Yeah, that could be more of a ick. Absolutely.
Honestly, I'm not gonna lie. I wore socks with my sandals a few months ago and I was like, I get it. I totally get
Hey,
it.
I wear socks with my sandals. I'm not
The
saying that
truth
was
comes
my red
out.
flag. I'm just saying for a lot of girls, it is a red flag.
It
Okay.
is, and I don't get
I
it.
don't get it either because
My
It
I
depends.
dad
Like,
does it.
yeah,
sandals, like slides.
I
Hmm.
Okay.
for
Hmm.
me,
Sandals with
I
like thongs are like, it's,
Okay,
no,
not with
no,
thongs.
yeah,
Not with thongs. We have limits.
I'm like,
yes.
okay, dad, because my dad does that. And
Uncomfortable
I
for
love him. He's the
you.
only man that can do that, okay?
Oh my gosh,
Yeah, that
that's
is
so
uncomfortable.
Okay,
But
nice
wait, what
guy
was the
trait.
question?
Nice
Nice.
guy trait that gives you the ick instantly. So he's a nice guy, and then he does something that's like, ugh, okay.
the first thing that comes to my mind is if they're like full on, like you know what I mean? And to me,
Right?
yeah, like to me it's I don't know. It's nice and that's what we all want. We want some guy that like showers us with attentions, texting us, asking about our day 24/7, whatever. But I just feel like in the beginning, I'm just saying this from past experiences, like I will find like if the guy's trying to pursue me and he's just like super full on, for me, I think that's a ick. But then like I'll get used to it and then I'll appreciate it and I'll be like, oh, well, like he really is just like being a nice guy. You know what I mean? Like, because I've done that before. Or if you tell them, like, can you just lighten it a little bit? And then you find yourself being like, well, shoot, now I miss like that full on energy.
Yeah. Well, they say it's like it's our nature, right? Like we want to have a little bit of that healthy dynamic of like, don't make it so easy for us, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
Isn't that healthy? Yeah, I don't know.
I
But
wonder too, though, if we're just so like used to not getting it that maybe it's a normal amount and we just
girl,
think it's too much.
that
Exactly.
part.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Hmm. Yeah, I can't think of one, but it's okay. Fallon had a great answer.
Okay. What's the most unhinged thing you've done for a crush, past or present? Just
I
a
feel like I
crush.
have a long list for this one.
What are we saying is unhinged?
Whatever you think is unhinged, I'll let you make your own definition for this one.
Well, I'm just like anything I've done, I feel like I don't think is unhinged while I'm like doing it. So let me think back. Okay, well, I have something I guess I could say about this. So I used to manage a restaurant and I mean, I'm just gonna air out my dirty laundry now. Why not? And I was seeing this guy and I was like pretty obsessed with him, and I thought he felt the same, surprise there. But I ended up, so I was managing, so I was in charge of schedules. So one week I decided to change his entire schedule to only work my shifts. So I did that, got caught immediately, and actually ended up getting fired. Not just for that, that did play a toll in why I was getting fired because it did have to do with being with him because I wasn't allowed to be dating like a team member because I was
Right.
superior. Um, but I feel like that's probably pretty unhinged, I guess, changing his
Yeah.
entire schedule to match
Uh-huh.
mine.
Yeah. Yeah. She's like, they noticed. They saw
Oh, they
it.
noticed. Yeah, they know. Well, actually, who noticed was the girl whose shifts I took and gave them to him. And I
Ah,
didn't fuck up her schedule, and I still to this day will say she didn't have a shitty schedule. She just was used to like closing like 6 nights a week, 5 nights a week, or whatever. And I
okay.
already was kind of preaching to everybody that I was going to kind of change the dynamic because I don't think that it's fair for the same person to have the best shifts over and over and over. Like, how is anyone else going to fucking learn and evolve if you don't give them a chance? So that
Hmm.
was already what I was kind of preaching. So I kind of just snuck that in there and tried to use that as my excuse, but it ended up, obviously, that wasn't for that reason that I did that. And
Oh
she got
my.
pissed and told on me. And then,
Of course. She's like, you're not messing with my shit. Oh
Mhm.
man.
Yep.
Well, I think for me, is telling someone you want to move to a different country to them after only knowing them for 3 or 4 months, is that unhinged?
You said you would move to a different country for them?
Yeah. So when I was studying abroad in Germany, I told the guy I was dating that I would move there for him. And he was like, "Oh no, honey, I don't actually love you like that." I was like, "But I can
Oh,
move here. I'm gonna like drop out of school and like figure it out, transfer, whatever." But y'all know my other girlfriend, she was willing to go with me. I won't say her name on yeah. I'll tell you when we hop off. She was like, "Let's do it together." I'm like, "Right? That sounds so fun. Let's move to
that would be
Germany.
me. I would be right there with you, sis. I would be like, let's go.
Let's go." He was like, "No."
Props to her.
Okay, last question. If your ex had to describe you in one word, what would they say versus what you hope they'd say?
I don't know. Like lost treasure? Can I have two?
Losing.
Oh,
Lost.
because the word's about describing you.
Oh, describing like my personality.
Yeah, like, oh, she's
Oh.
crazy, but you would want them to say, oh, she was so sweet, like that.
Technically the one that got away in his eyes, right?
Uh-huh. Yeah. Uh-huh. Yeah.
Soulmate? I don't know.
I don't know.
Maybe you thought you were a
Hard to get
soulmate.
down to one word. Um,
Perfect.
Perfect. Yeah.
missed opportunity. I need 2 words.
Okay, we'll take it.
For me, I will just end it on a high note. I'll do it positively with someone. But I would usually actually ask him. We would ask each other what words would we use to describe each other, and he usually would always say like kind or like big-hearted. I mean, that's a hyphened word, so I don't know if that counts or whatever. Um, yeah.
Oh, that's sweet. So you think he would say that now?
Yeah. I
Okay.
think my like last guy, I think he would have nothing but positive things to say about me. The ex
Aw.
before that now. Who knows? And I don't care to know. So that's why I'm gonna skip the last one.
Yeah. We have describing words too.
Yeah, exactly. So
Yay. Okay, that's all the questions.
Yay, that
Yeah.
was fun.
I love that.
Thanks for that, Britt. I love a little
Yeah.
rapid fire, even though I gotta get faster with my answers. But
They're so
It's
hard, honestly, because
hard.
it's like, what?
It's like I
Never had
know
to think about
if I knew them before, you know what I mean? It's like I would have time to think about it. So it's like I would have an answer for every single question that you ask. But yeah, when you're on your toes, it's hard, some of them.
watch later, we're gonna be like, wait, but this, and this, y'all. So
Mm.
But thank you everyone for tuning in to another fun chat with us. We're always just so glad to chat with you. And if you want to hear any, if you have any questions for us that you're like, hey, I want to know about this Brit Fallon star, drop them in our Instagram. Like reach out to us, let us know. We love getting to know you guys too.
Yes, and if you have any rapid fire questions that you want us to go over, if you want to
Yeah.
hear us ask each other, let us know. Let us know in the comments or on IG.
Yeah, we should do like an AMA. Ask me anything. That would be fun.
Love that. That would be so fun.
Cool, cool,
All
cool.
right, guys. Well, until
Tune in
next,
next time.
Bye.
bye.